Hey everybody, my name is Damon Atwood and I'm with the Model Aviation Political Action Committee. If you don't know what that means, we're a small group of people working directly with politicians in Washington, D.C. to make sure our voices are heard. So what I want to do in this update is to talk about the remote ID ruling that came down and how important that is to us and how big of a win it was for us. Okay, first I want to talk about how are we going to comply. But keep in mind, we don't even have to comply for another 32 months, approximately 32 months before we even have to worry about complying. But when we do have to comply, basically there's going to be three ways to do it. One is when you buy a factory-built aircraft, it's going to come with remote ID built into it. The second way is you take your scratch-built or home-built airplane or your ARF or whatever you're flying today, and you're going to put a remote ID module in it and just go fly. The third way to comply is to fly at an FAA-recognized identification area. And basically that's going to be a community-based organization or an educational institution that has registered with the FAA to have that site deemed as an area that it's okay to fly in, which means you don't need any sort of remote ID at all to fly in those sites. So with that said, what were we up against? If you look at this chart here, if you look at what was the proposed rules versus what the rule that came down, this is pretty dramatic. So all of you who wrote Congress, all of you that wrote the FAA, it made a difference. Everybody that donated to this political action committee so we could work with Congress, it mattered. Okay? We need your support. We can't give up. Okay? The Reauthorization Act is coming up in 2023. We need to make sure Congress is backing us. We need to make sure Congress is understanding how safe we are. We've got to make sure the federal government understands we want to comply. And I know some people are going to go, I don't want to do that. This is the reason we want to comply. The more we show we want to work with them, the less they're going to put regulations on us. The more of you that file with the register with the FAA and get your little card, the more they're going to appreciate that we're trying to work with them. You know, I did a little poll on my website and basically 96% of my friends had registered with the FAA. So please do that. So how can we continue to help? The best way to continue this is to write your Congress people, to write the FAA when appropriate, and donate to this political action committee. Okay? Your donations help us directly work with the Congress people that love model aviation and will be our voice. Okay? This is a different world than it was 20 years ago. We need your support, but we also need your donations. We need you to back model aviation and the future of model aviation. So I hope this makes sense, everybody, and I hope you appreciate the importance of the win we got out of remote ID, but also understand the importance that we've got to keep working with Congress and Washington, D.C. to make sure that model aviation is protected. So thanks for watching this video, everybody, and you have an awesome day. Take care.